Welcome to Stretch and Flow with me, Jason, and we're going to focus on this area, kind of lower back, hip and glute. So I want to ask you to stand for right now, and feel free to stand behind your chair because I like to have something to hold on to. And what we're going to do is slowly swing one leg side to side. So we're going to get that hip swing. So we're actually crossing the leg in front, and you just want to keep it straight and then just let it loose, kind of relatively weightless, but you're just taking advantage of that swing, trying to open the hip out. And you can go slowly, or you can just kind of rock it side to side. And then we're going to switch legs. So this is also a good idea to do as a dynamic warm-up as you're doing any kind of lower body resistance workout or high intensity. Just kind of get that leg swing. So on this side, I'm starting to move a little faster. And then you can just hold on, let it rock side to side. Kick the foot of my chair, watch that. Swing it. All right, we're going to go back to that first leg. Same idea, you're going to need room front to back because we're going to do forward and back swing. So now getting that hip flexion extension. So try to stay as upright as you can. Hold on, standing leg strong. And moving at a good pace, just get that weightlessness. So it would actually be harder if we tried to slow it down, if we're using that muscular control. But right now, we're just trying to open things up. So you can just let it swing, and then we're going to move over to the other side. This is another good chance to work on your posture, so stay up tall. So keeping abs engaged even though we're swinging our leg forward and back. So try not to let your torso move too much on this one or at all, because relative to our body, we want our leg to come in front of us and then behind. So especially getting that extension, which is where we get our leg behind us. Because when we sit, we get a lot of flexion, which is folded, and that's not a bad thing. We just want to balance it out. All right, starting to feel those legs working. So we're going to come into a seated position. And what I'd like you to do is bring one knee over to one side. You can achieve that by almost crossing like this, or if you prefer, you can just turn both knees to one side. So knee cross, and then we're going to rotate opposite. Deep breath out. So get that leg across, combine it with a slight rotation. Here, lengthen. Hip to knee. So we're holding this stretch. Another chance, keeping your chin up tall, looking over your shoulder. And we'll switch to the other side. Again, you can have one leg over, or you can move both knees to one side. The idea is to get your thigh across, and then up as tall as possible. Turn to look over your shoulder. And if you heard a crack, that's okay, because I did hear this earlier as I was trying it. Okay, spine readjusting. All right. Okay, very good. So we're going to go ahead and turn to the front. And actually, I'm going to turn slightly to the side just to show you. We'll do our cat dog next. So the idea is let your chest and abdomen come forward as you pull your shoulders back, and you can even slide your elbows back. And then we'll do the opposite. So we'll hold that pose for a bit. Exhale to round back. You might find that you want to scoot forward a bit to give your back more room to round there. So now bringing chest and abdomen inward, even chin tucks in. Here we go. And back. So just hold for about 1 to 3 seconds. Those of you pet owners will often see your cat or dog will do this, one of these poses, just intuitively, just kind of getting up from sleeping 20 hours a day. Here we go. So it feels good because we're getting the total spine. So think lower spine all the way up to your neck, rounding everything. And then especially upper back, so expanding our chest. Contract it in to open our back. And let's do one more. Feel free to close your eyes too. All right, go ahead and return to neutral. One of my favorites now is we're going to do our figure 4. So as best as you can, try to get your knee across, so outward this time. So once you have that, it doesn't matter how high or low, just find that outward knee position. We want to keep that spine alignment, and we're going to lean forward. So we're folding at the hip until you feel that stretch around your glute. Feel like a nice relief. No pain. It's gonna feel tight at first, but just relax into it. We're going to hold it here. And then just use this opportunity to think about keeping your head, shoulders, hip, moving in that one line. Ooh, feels too good. All right, we're going to do other leg. So get the knee out. You can be lower if you need to. All right, so from here, take a moment up as tall as possible. And then from there, you fold forward. Not a rounding forward because we want to target back here. You want to fold at the hip like a hinge. And then just let your head follow your torso, or you can close your eyes. It's a good idea to balance the brightness. Just rest your eyelids. All right, and then staying in this seated position, so facing straight forward, we're going to do one arm under, and then one arm over to the other side. So just keep your knees forward. So on this one, we'll hold for maybe 5 seconds, and then we'll switch. So feel yourself reach the practical limit here. Basically, once you can't go any farther, just hold that there. Enjoy it. Other side. Over and under. Opposites. There you go. And if you want to get a little neck rotation, you can see if you can turn your head to look up toward your upper arm. Okay, 3 to 5 second hold. Over here. All right. And we'll go over this way one more time. All right, very good. This last one, I'm going to invite you to either sit or stand. I'm going to stand. So it was a good idea to switch things up. So we'll get a hamstring stretch. So it's going to be split stance, meaning one leg forward, one leg back. And then again, get that hip fold. And I actually want you to think about pressing your back. I'm like, press your hips to the back of the room. There you go. What am I trying to say here? Yeah, get your butt to the back of the room. There we go. Okay, so as you can imagine, if you were doing this seated, you would just have one leg straight in front. And then it's the same idea. Push your hips to the back, and you can just slide your hands down your front leg. All right. And then we'll move to the other side. Coming up slowly. Put the chair here just for security. And then get that split stance, hips to the back. Right, push your butt back and then slide down your leg. But it's not about how far you reach. It's more about getting that hip hinge, folding at the hip. And you'll feel it right away behind your thigh. toward your knee. Thank you for joining me on Stretch and Flow. I will see you next time. Hope you have a good day. Bye-bye. Thanks, everyone. You're welcome, Kate. Bye-bye. Bye, Orit. Gabriella, you're welcome. Thanks, Natalia. Thank you, Lynn. I agree. Bye, Kirk. Thank you. Hey, Kamen.